Brookhaven wasn't the kind of town where people vanished. That kind of thing happened in cities with sirens and shadows. Not in a quiet Christian town where everyone knew who baked the best pies, who sat in which pew, and who never missed a morning shift. And that's exactly why what happened to Nurse Emily Carter terrified everyone. Because she was the one person no one ever worried about. Until the night she simply didn't come home. Emily's disappearance wasn't discovered by police. It wasn't discovered by neighbors. It started with one phone call, the kind of call that makes your stomach clench before you even answer it. Emily didn't clock in this morning. Those 6 words shattered Brookhaven's peace. Emily Carter, the nurse who prayed with scared families, brought homemade soup to sick neighbors, and stayed behind after church to arrange chairs, had vanished without leaving even a whisper behind. And from that moment, the calm little town that had always felt protected suddenly felt exposed. Investigators found her car abandoned at Willow Bend Lookout, door open, the interior untouched, silence hanging over the valley like a warning. There were no signs of a struggle, no calls for help, no footprints leading away. It didn't make sense. Nothing made sense. The sheriff considered the possibility this was a random abduction, but something felt too deliberate, too intimate. Like whoever took her knew exactly who she was, and knew no one would suspect them. The breakthrough came hours later when detectives gathered footage from homes and businesses along her route home. Emily's sedan passed through Pinewood Road like it did every night. And then, 2 minutes later, came a dusty blue pickup truck. The same truck seen lurking near the hospital earlier that week. The same truck sitting in the staff parking lot almost every time Emily was on shift. It belonged to Mark Denton, hospital maintenance worker, quiet, helpful, unthreatening in that never raises his voice way that made people overlook him. But behind that calm exterior, something dangerous had been growing. When detectives questioned him, Mark insisted he went home. But when confronted with the footage, his breathing changed. His hands twitched, and then he muttered a sentence so chilling the room went silent. "She shouldn't have walked away from me." It was the kind of line you only hear in the stories where you already know someone is lying. Eventually, Mark broke, and the truth spilled out in a trembling wave. He had followed her to Willow Bend. Emily got out of her car, gentle but firm, telling him again, as kindly as she could, that she didn't feel the same way, that she cared for him as a friend, nothing more, that she wished him healing and peace. But Mark heard rejection as humiliation. In the quiet night, under the glow of the lookout lights, one moment of anger changed everything. He grabbed her arm. She stepped back. One slip, one brutal fall against the rocks. Everything after that was panic and cowardice masquerading as control. He staged the scene, hit her body, tossed her phone, drove home like nothing happened. But here's the twist even seasoned investigators didn't see coming. Emily had been planning to speak to the hospital board, but not about him, not about secret affairs or hidden scandals. She was reporting a simple medication error Mark had made, the kind that could be corrected with training, not punishment. But in Mark's troubled mind, that simple act of professionalism became betrayal. When Emily's body was found days later, Mark didn't resist arrest. He just sat there repeating one haunting line. "She forgave me before she fell. I didn't deserve it." And in a heartbreaking way, that was true. Emily was exactly the type who would forgive even when she was scared, even when she was hurt, even when it cost her everything. Brookhaven still remembers her. Her kindness, her faith, her quiet strength. Churches still light candles in her memory. Nurses still tell her story as a quiet warning about compassion and boundaries. Mark Denton is serving 35 years. His motives laid bare, his obsession exposed, his darkness cut open for everyone to see. Emily's legacy didn't end with violence. It lives in every person she helped, every prayer she whispered, every life she touched. Her light outlasted his darkness. Sometimes, the The scariest stories aren't about monsters hiding in alleys. They're about ordinary people whose minds make one terrible turn. And this is one of them.